Hello, YouTube world. I've decided to just post. I'm just gonna make it a new habit, a new hobby to just post my unfiltered thoughts for anyone who cares to listen. And yes, I am driving right now, but I'm not looking at the camera. And I'm a fucking safe driver, if I may say so myself. So I am I live in and I was born in Toronto, Canada. And there is an uproar of anguish, of despair, of anger, and so many other defeating emotions because of our current election that just happened. And I'm not one to pay attention to politics too much because, to some extent, it doesn't matter which side wins. People are pulling their strings regardless. And it took me the awakening that I had during COVID, the pandemic, to really wake up to that and to understand that, people who are in politics, who are in that racket, they have their strings pulled, or there's some level of corruption that they are a part of to get to that stature and to that level. But you know what? This time, oh man, it's a shame. It's a shame because you felt it all over the world that Canadians were rising up and speaking and really standing for what they believed in. And the thing is, the numbers in these videos of Pierre Poilievre going to all these different places in Canada, the numbers don't lie. He was drawing people by the thousands. And apparently now there's some videos surfacing now that some people who were being paid to count the ballots in certain areas of Ontario, those ballots weren't counted, and the news, the mainstream media, was already announcing that the Liberals have already won. Which is really, really fishy. Really, 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 really fishy shit. And it just goes to show of how much we're all plugged into the Matrix to some extent. They give us this illusion that our vote matters and makes a difference, but then they pull all of this shit behind the scenes and think that we're not gonna, start asking questions or start looking behind the scenes. And look, so many of my friends who are strong, pure of heart, who want exactly what I want. We want affordable food. We want affordable, housing prices. And we would like to live a life where we can pursue our dreams, maybe even start a family. And this whole divide of liberals versus conservatives is just so disheartening for people to see, to just come together, or not come together. It's disheartening to see that so many people are just so quick to be like, haha, we fucking won. You guys can enjoy while we, indulge ourselves in all the splendors and shit. And I think it's just so fucked up. I think when people get to a point where you're rubbing it in their face that their party won, and I hope you guys suffer after seeing our victory, I think that stems from something significantly deeper within the person that says that. If you actually have it in you to wish that kind of pettiness on someone, you have deeper issues that stem from something that happened to you in your childhood, where you feel like you gotta go and poke fun and just berate people. And not only that, sorry, text message from my friend. Not only that, this is the same party that locked us all in our homes, that severed the human connection, that said that unless you took this experimental vaccine, that you were going to kill your grandmother. Well, let me tell you something about that. I have been staying with my grandmother and my uncle for the past 3 or 4 years, unvaccinated. They've taken, I think, 3 or 4 of them each, and not one of them have gotten sick. If anything, they've gotten significantly healthier with me being around them and me taking care of them in my own way too. And this is the same party that said that we are the ones who are killing people. Nobody's died on my watch. This is the same party that froze bank accounts of people who supported the Freedom Convoy, which I spoke at. How do you justify freezing bank accounts of single mothers, single fathers, for supporting a movement to end vaccine mandates which were causing severe harm and even, in some cases, death? How do you justify that? How do you justify freezing those people's bank accounts because they were genuinely concerned about their health? And this has been debunked over years, okay? So I don't need anybody's comments of saying, oh, the vaccines actually... No, okay? It's been debunked, and there's been enough information coming out now saying that the vaccines didn't do shit. Even the people who took the 2 vaccines had to get reboosted, and they weren't even classified as vaccinated anymore. After they had 2. Sorry, I had to finish that. Even after they've had 2, they weren't classified as vaccinated. And so many people have said how they now have all these new diseases. Sorry, not diseases. These new illnesses ever since they've taken those shots. This is the same party that implemented that. And I don't know whether they're brainwashed by the vaccine or they're at a level, this place where they just don't give a fuck enough, but like, this is ridiculous. Because whatever happens now, well, it's just a play that has to play out. We have to see what happens. But to all my awakened fellow viewers on here, if you're awakened, meaning like you don't trust the mainstream media, you are aware of what's going on, you're aware of how, this is designed to disrupt and pit us against each other, don't pay attention to any of this. When I say that, I mean don't let it get you in an angry state. Because when they get you in anger, when they trick you and get you into an angry state and write off everybody, that's exactly what they want. That's exactly where they take your power and they steer it in any direction that they can. One of my best friends has always told me this quote, that he who angers you controls you. The people who run this country, who run the world, they know that emotionally, mentally, spiritually, we have the same control, we have the same superhuman powers within ourselves to lead each other to our own greatness, to inspire real change in this world, and to be who we were born to be in this life. They know we were born with that. And for centuries, they've put this container over what knowledge that we have access to. And now you are all tapping into it. And that's why there's such great rage and anger right now going on in our country. And we have people from all over the world wishing us well and, hoping that we don't lose our wits. And that's what's important here. Because Canada could be over, or the war could be just beginning. In a way, it is a new beginning, as, difficult as it is to see right now. But when we give up on ourselves, we give up on each other, we lose in so many different ways. That's not worth, and it's not worth it. And it's worth me putting my thoughts out into video right now to hopefully find any stragglers, anybody who's looking for a sense of understanding and connection to something a lot more deeper. You gotta let the universe, let God sort out those people. Don't let it disrupt your shit. Don't let it disrupt you from creating and paving a miraculous life worth living for yourself. And I know that's, very, very difficult to hear considering everything that we're going through with inflation, rising costs and everything. But your own personal power, your own connection to your reality, they can never take that away from you. They've tried to pull everyone's sense of reality, everyone's attention right here. They've tried to take everyone's attention and guide it towards their own agendas. For years, centuries, this has been happening. And this is going to not sound like news. This is going to sound very obvious to so many people. But like I said, I never used to pay attention to politics at all until it came to my doorstep and I got put on leave without pay because I didn't take an experimental vaccine for my job. And look what happened. The unvaccinated people weren't the ones getting sick. And to anyone who's watching who's vaccinated, this is not a shot at you, okay? Like, I still have people I care deeply about. Family, friends. I have fallen for women who have taken the shot. And honestly, like, some of them, I really didn't care. This is not a shot at you for if you've taken it, but if you got tricked, I hope that you've learned a lesson over these past 4 years. And if you're a liberal voter who's watching this, pay attention to what happens in the next 4 years. And if you honestly at a point where you really don't give a fuck for the people, the young people of this country who still want to make something of their lives, if you don't give a fuck to meet people in the middle and to at least have civil conversation and not get triggered by your triggers when somebody disagrees with something that, you know, you don't agree with, I just want to invite you to just open up your listening a little bit more. Don't go so quickly to your fight or flight knee-jerk reactions, because those are often your triggers stemming from something else. We can go into the movies right now, see Star Wars Revenge of the Sith because it's in theaters, because why the fuck not? Cheap Tuesday. Anyways, this is cool. I like this. This has been a version of me I haven't been able to get out because I never really done it before like this. So this is actually kind of cool. And I might do this often. If anybody feels like they've gotten something from watching this, I will totally do this often. And to kind of close this off, there's definitely something fishy going on, and there's something deeper in the scenes. Behind the scenes that are happening. And I would just want to invite you to not lose your shit. Have a day or two to fucking get it all out, but then pick it back up again. We hit harder, we go more full blown the next days. We don't let this defeat us. We ask for guidance. We trust our inner compass, our inner intuition that this is all happening to make us stronger and to align us with the people who serve our future and to let go of the people who are not adding to our lives anymore. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. It may not seem like it right now, but I truly believe that this is all happening for a reason. Anyways, it's April 29th, 9:26 p.m. 2025. Keep your faith, hold the line, and stay safe.